Many people say, religion? No. That is the cause of almost all wars. And honestly, it sounds very convincing. But is it true? Let's take a closer look, because this topic deserves more than a quick opinion. It should also be clear that in this video I am mainly talking about Christianity, because other religions are a complete different matter. So, subscribe to this channel if you're following this series, that way you won't miss any episode of the basic questions for Christians. Well, actually, you cannot strictly say that this is the fault of religion. It is more accurate to say that it is our sin that causes wars. In many cases, it is about greed, lust, power, and tyranny overall. Even when a country goes to war to bring about peace, we can say that the whole incident started because of the sinful nature of humanity. However, many would say that religion is number one in starting wars. And yes, there have been religious wars. Some religions even teach that it is legitimate to spread their ideas by the sword. Well, this cannot be said about Christianity. Do you remember the moment Jesus was captured? Peter decided to chop off the ear of the servant of the high priest. What did Jesus say? Yeah, way to go, Peter. No, instead he healed the man's ear and rebuked Peter. I mean, do you ever had that idea that you can't do anything right? Well, I think Peter must have felt like that. Poor guy. You see, Jesus told us to love our neighbor as ourselves. Doesn't sound much like a war cry, does it? Still, there were wars or battles in the name of Jesus. And I do not know your name, but let's say your name is Joe. Why I choose that name, I don't know. I just like the sound of it. Anyway, Joe, you always told people to love one another and to be peaceful, right? Yeah, I mean, that's you, right? But what happens when I go and throw bombs on buildings and shout loudly, I do this in the name of Joe? Can you be blamed for my actions? Well, no, of course not. Neither can you do that with Jesus. He never urged us to go to battle, to kill people, or to throw bombs and then shout, I do this in the name of Jesus. Hold on. I know that there are some smart guys among you. Some of you are thinking about the Old Testament. And sure enough, there you will find some commands to go to battle. Yes, and I actually discussed the so-called genocide in the Old Testament in a previous video. But many forget, however, that God intended the Jewish people to be a light for the world. Sure, they were commanded to conquer Canaan, but after that they were not allowed to conquer any other country. No, they were commanded to show love and compassion to the widows, orphans and strangers. They had to offer asylum to the slaves that fled their owners, even when these slaves came all the way from other countries. Isaiah 33 verse 21 says the following: The people who I am formed for myself will declare my praise. And in Isaiah 49 verse 6, I will also make you a light of nations, so that my salvation may reach to the end of the earth. After conquering Canaan, Israel mostly fought defensive wars. And defensive wars are a totally different topic, which I will not discuss right now. You see, I could go into a rant about other ideologies that caused more deaths just in the last century than you can ever imagine. But I will restrain myself and just point to a link in the description of this video. So instead, let's go back to Jesus' teachings. He told his followers to love people to the same degree they love themselves. The followers of Jesus even have to love their enemies. That sounds impossible, but Jesus also promised us that he will give the strength to obey his rules. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7 says this: For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. So please don't be afraid to put your trust in Jesus. The Apostle Peter said that salvation can be found in no one else. Throughout the whole world, no other name has been given among humans through which we must be saved. Looking forward to living in a world without war? I do. It's gotta be a while before that will happen, or maybe not, I'm not sure. In any case, this assurance has been given by Jesus to those who put their trust on Him. They will live with Him in eternal peace.